Hello there, I'm Imef here and I'm back with some more ComputerCraft, and today I'll be doing another tutorial which will be actually in two parts in all the same video. First part will be dedicated to manipulating tables. It will be very simple, and the second part will be way more advanced. It will be another way to actually see functions. So let's get started right away, and let's go in the Lua console because I'm not going to show you any programs right yet at least. And let's do a few examples. So to declare a table is very easy, so you don't need you actually need to devour whatever name you want. So I will use T for this example, but it could be tab, could be shoe, whatever you want, as long as it makes sense for you. So let's just stick to that. So let's say T for now, and to declare it you use those symbols here, and it will actually declare the table. And if you say T, it will actually return the address of the table, and it will actually recognize T as a table too actually. And what I mean by address, basically all variables are stored in the memory at a certain location, and a table basically the variable which contains a table actually contains an address, and this address will be the first number, or the first free location for all values of a table. It's a bit complicated to explain because this is more of the kind of thing you actually study when you work on the C language mostly. So let's actually stick to the address thing, and I'll just keep you confused. So let's actually redeclare the table, and this time it will be with values, but keep in mind you can actually change the values whatever time you want. This is just declaring, so let's actually add some values inside of the brackets like that, and we have 2, 3, 4, 6. So to actually access those values, it's very easy. Just go into the brackets. Position 1 will be 2. At the index 2 you'll have 3. Index 3 you have 4. And index 4 you have 6. Wonderful. So how is this wonderful? Well, actually very easy. Let's see. Let's examine the code. So actually no, let's not examine. Actually no, I got lost. I just wanted to say let's examine to say something coolish, but no, you can actually change values whenever you want. So let's actually change T at the index of 3, and let's say it will take the value of 9. So if you actually check out T3, it will say 9 because you changed the value. You can in fact add a value at 5. It has not been declared, so it will say nil, but you can actually change the value to, I don't know, 7. And now it will say 7. Wonderful. One other cool thing you can do is actually declare some tables which have two dimensions. So let's do so like that. So first set of brackets and a second inside. So one way to see it is actually a table within a table. And basically the way you can actually see a table is basically like a list. And this is mostly how you use tables, in fact. And I'm sure there's a way to use two-dimensional lists, like yes, a very easy example is like you have a list of coordinates. So the first set of table, or first table within the table, will have all the x coordinates. So let's do an example like 1, 5, and 9. Then the next set of coordinates in the other subtable will be the y coordinates. So how about 5, 9, 7? And in fact we can actually push our luck even further by actually adding some z coordinates. So let's do 7, 1, 1. And it will work. So if we actually access the table, we can do like that. In position 1, it will actually return a table. So what do you do to access the other values? You add another index like that, and you will access 1, which is the first value here. If we do 1, 2, we'll get 5 normally. Then 3, we should get 9, of course. And you can actually access any value within the table. So that's pretty awesome because there are loads of applications to tables. So now that I've actually talked about tables, I wouldn't be actually showing you any functions which manipulate table, I'm just going to show you one last thing dedicated to tables, which is to actually see the size of the table. You just use this little symbol, I forgot what's the name, and it will return the size of the table. So it says 3. So why does it say 3? Because there are 9 values, because there are 3 tables within the table, and it will just count the number of tables within the table. It won't actually check if there are any tables within the table. Oh, it's getting so confusing to say that. Never mind. So basically the size of the table is 3, and to do the, so you just do this little notation. So if you have a table called, I don't know, shoe, to access the size of the table, you just do that. Awesome. So let me just show you one awesome application. So let's call, well, redeclare once again t, and it will have several values. How about 4, 5, 6, and 9? Totally random values. And one thing you can do, so let's do 4 I equal 1, comma, and then this way to actually get the size of the table, do print t at position I. So basically this will print all the values of the table, and as you can see, 4, 6, 9, wonderful. And yes, this is just the way you, that's just a way to do so. Now then, I think I've done all I wanted to say dedicated tables, so let's go to functions. This is, well, if you understand that, it's absolutely awesome, because you understand a major philosophy in programming, maybe not, but a major concept in programming, and it can be useful, I suppose. So let's see. I might show you one application later on. I don't really have any examples right here on the computer, so I have to improvise more or less. So let's see, let's declare our own function. So there are 2 ways to do so. First of all is like that. Well, actually no, I'll show you the second way first. Function, and let's just call it f, but you can name it whatever you want. I just call it f just to make it short, and you can put as many arguments as you want. So let's put an argument, we'll call it a. Once again, you can type whatever you want. It's just to make things simple, and what it'll do, basically, it will print a. It's basically like an alias what I'm doing. It's if I type a, well, f a whatever, like that, f position, or how about hello, it will print hello. If I say halo, it will print halo. Wonderful, because what it does, it basically prints a. One other way to actually declare a function, let's do, you actually declare it like a variable. That's wonderful. So how do you do so? You do, let's keep with f. F will be equal to function, like that. Open brag, well, parentheses for arguments. So let's have a as an argument, and then you actually will type the content of the function. So let's do something else. How about print? Yes, we'll be printing again. This time it will be something a bit more awesome. So technically you should know how to do that, because I explained it in a previous tutorial. Let's see. A will be a string, by the way. It will string all, well, it will print all the letters beside except the last. No, it's actually will be more complicated than that. It will only print the first letter. So there we go. Sub 1 1. There we go. And end. So this is the second way to actually declare a function. And if we do f of hello, like that, it will say h. Let's say low, it will say L. So this is just a function. So now I said that actually you can declare functions like a variable. So some of you may be thinking, how about I can manipulate functions like variables? So like storing a function within a variable or something like that. So let's do a very simple test. Let's have a function which will be called e, and it will take the value of, I don't know, how about os.pull event, and this will actually pull an event. That's normally you should know. And how about what event? Let's take char or car, whatever. And basic. Oh, dang it! I keep doing a mistake. Never mind. Event. Okay. So basically, E will now be the new os.pull event function, and os.pull event actually always works. So let's actually try both notations. Pull event, and actually car once more. And whenever I press a letter like H, it will print H. Wonderful. However, if I do E of char, it will work exactly the same. So all I did is that I actually stored the function in E, or actually more copied it inside. So there's a variety of ways to actually do that, and I'm sure some of you can actually come up with some amazing things. So if you have any ideas, any questions, any suggestions, let me know in the comment section. I'm always interested in knowing your opinion. If you have any if there's any tutorials you want me to do, let me know in the comment section too. And since this is the end, I will be saying goodbye and see you next time.